Good evening and welcome to NNX, where we give you campus news faster than you can eat a bowl of mac and cheese. I'm Maria Heim.
And I'm Lily Wolfson. Let's dive right into tonight's stories.
We begin tonight with an update from Northwestern's Graduate Student Workers Union, or NUGW, officially launching their unionization. They call it the More Pay, More Say rally. Hundreds of protesters gathered on Deering Meadow last Thursday to show support. NUGW came together to ask for better pay, stipend raises to account for inflation, and stable funding past their 5th year. According to the group organizers, around 1,300 union cards were signed that day. For context, there were about 14,000 graduate students on campus.
And today is really where we're kind of going public with that campaign, putting our information out there and bringing together all graduate workers who've been working on this over the years.
And NNN's Gabrielle Coriati joins us today in studio. Gabrielle, tell us more about the history of NUGW's mobilization efforts on campus.
Thank you so much, Maria. So NUGW was founded in 2016. They've done a lot of work at the university since then. In 2020, they worked together with the university to ensure paid medical leave for all graduate workers. Then in the winter of 2021, they worked to form a system they call department organizers. Essentially, the way this works is they make sure that all graduate workers, no matter what department at Northwestern they are in, have a contact point with NUGW. This fall, what they were celebrating at last week's rally was their affiliation with United Electrical Workers, which is an independent union organization. The goal of uniting with electrical workers is just to work with them and help them form that formal union. UE works with other graduate workers across the country, like at UChicago or MIT. Now they're working to sign those union cards that they were working at signing at the rally, just to make sure, show which graduate workers want to see that official, formally recognized union campaign.
So moving forward, what's the university saying and what's next for the graduate student workers?
Thank you. So I reached out to university spokesperson John Yates for a statement, and he says, quote, Northwestern University has always regarded its graduate students as students first and foremost, and has been steadfast in its commitment to support, mentor, and train them. But I spoke with graduate workers who said that is part of the problem, that the university acts as if they're students when it's best for them and acts as if it's workers when it's convenient for them also. These graduate workers are teaching and research assistants and are critical to the university's functioning.
Much ahead for NUGW. Gabrielle, we know you'll follow this story for us. If you're interested in seeing more of Gabrielle's reporting, you can find it on our Instagram page. That's NNN_news. Gabrielle, thanks again. Lily?
Thanks, Maria. One student organization is hoping to help Wildcats get to the polls this November. NU Votes is helping to mobilize young voters on campus by hosting registration pop-ups. The student-run organization says they aim to streamline the voting process by helping students better understand how to submit an absentee ballot. All Northwestern students who are eligible to vote have the option of choosing their Northwestern or home address.
From dining to test requirements, students with COVID-19 are seeing updates to quarantine regulations. Students now receive a daily $40 DoorDash credit and have 24/7 access to a pantry stocked with grab-and-go items. Last year, students could only receive food from NU dining. Plus, masked residents can now leave the isolation dorm between the hours of 7 a.m. and 10 p.m. Testing negative to leave after 5 days of isolation is also no longer required. Students in isolation say that there have been new changes that have been positive.
I felt like having that fresh air was really beneficial for keeping my mental health up.
Students in isolation are still denied access to university buildings.
Over 35,000 participants ran in the Chicago Marathon on Sunday. For one Northwestern student, the race meant so much more than crossing the finish line. Miracle Ramos, NU sophomore, ran the Chicago Marathon for her father, Stephen Roman. He was diagnosed with stage 4 bone and kidney cancer. Ramos ran for the American Cancer Society, where she raised over $1,700. Ramos says her father's recovery has been up and down, but she hopes he is close to being on the other side of this battle.
He'll get on a bike and bike ride next to me while I run and just support me throughout the whole process.
Ramos says her father has always been an anchor in her life.
Homecoming week is wrapping up and NU alumni are headed back home to do big things. One alumni has been in the news for his new movie, Bros. NNN's Louis Castaneda brings us more from the big screen.
You might have heard the name, or if you're a lucky New Yorker, seen him.
Sir, for $1, name a celebrity you hate.
Now Northwestern alumni, Billy Eichner is once again on the silver screen. The R-rated film isn't your traditional rom-com, boasting an all-LGBTQ cast.
I enjoyed the movie because I love Billy Eichner and I love his sense of humor.
Students like first-year Casey Wiseman were invited to a screening just for Wildcats before the release.
I didn't even know he went to Northwestern until I found out about the screening. I was like, did you know Billy Eichner went to Northwestern? I was like, oh my gosh.
Despite critical acclaim, the movie's opening weekend saw a poor box office performance.
They kind of tried to include all types of LGBTQ people, but I think a lot of people felt like they were tokenizing them.
But criticisms have also been expressed from within the LGBTQ community.
I discovered post watching the movie about it's focus on cis white gay men, which is totally real and kind of altered how I view the movie.
Both in the movie and in real life, Eichner reflects on the importance of his college days.
It's where we found ourselves and where I think all first admitted to ourselves that we wanted to be artists, that we wanted to be actors. We were very committed to theater. It's also where I came out.
So out of the closet, to the street, and onto the red carpet, Billy Eichner shows how far a Wildcat can go. For NNN, Louis Castaneda.
And Louis had the chance to join us here in the studio. Louis, were you able to find any of his professors?
We actually were able to. We contacted his theater teacher here, Mary Poole. She has since retired, and she did give us a response. She said she was a little camera shy, but we did get a photo of her at the Chicago premiere of the movie.
Thanks so much, Louis. Lily, have you ever seen Billy on the street?
I have, and it's so cool to think that he was an alumnus here and might have taken the same classes as us. Well, that's all the time we have tonight. Thanks so much for watching.
Stay tuned for the Northwestern News Report and Politicat coming up next. I'm Maria Heim.
And I'm Lily Wolfson. Have a great night.